I like to subscribe, do all that. You already know what time it is. Netflix time. This movie we watch is called The Wasteland. The European Spanish film is about an hour and a half long. Spoiler alert, let's just get it. Right off the back, we get a bunch of dolls. What the hell do they represent? So here we have Diego and his mom, Lucia. He wakes up in the middle of the night, he's gotta go to the bathroom. But Lucia ends up making Salvador take him to the bathroom. So the outhouse is right there across the yard. See how ominous and dark it is out there? And Salvador got the rifle just in case some shit jump off. Just look at this area. It looks like anything could jump off at any moment, right? Probably why Salvador was like, fuck that shit, we got the shotty, nigga. Anyway, Diego does his business and they go back to bed. The next day, Salvador's trying to teach Diego how to kill rabbits, basically for survival and hunt for food. But Diego's too scared to do it, he accidentally lets the rabbit run away. So he's trying to chase the rabbit to get it back, but to no avail. Then all of a sudden, out of the blue, he just stops. So apparently they got these tethers set up and he's not supposed to go past there. I guess it's like a safe zone or something. But as you can see, it's not really a whole lot out there anyway. Look at this area, you think to yourself like, damn, are they the only people out there? So Salvador's trying to teach Diego about hunting and the ways of survival and whatnot, but Lucia doesn't want him involved in all that. She wants to keep him safe from the world. So she has him go into the house fixing potatoes and stuff, messing with herbs and leaves and everything, and that's all fine and dandy, but he still needs to learn some survival tactics. So she tells him the reason for the post is because everything outside of that is war, and everything else has been inhabited with death and whatnot. I think she's really just telling Diego that just to keep him safe. So they got like sheep, chickens, and rabbits in their little hut, and he feeds them breakfast and whatnot. She got him helping out with horses, which is all good and dandy, but once again, never mind, you'll see what I'm talking about in a minute. So as you can tell, looking at the land, it's nowhere near good for being able to grow crops. And in the distance, you can just see Salvador looking out. Later on, Diego goes upstairs. Who the heck is he spying on? Oh, he's spying on Salvador, watching him cleaning up his gun. And for a second, you thought, holy shit, is he gonna kill himself? Yeah, they're apparently in some desolate apocalypse, so the thought probably did cross his mind. Then he's spying on his mom, and she's worried about this random dress. Well, apparently it was a dress that Salvador gave to her. Then out the blue, Salvador's just staring there all ominous, and then after that, he just leaves. Now he feels some kind of way, because she's been undermining everything he's been trying to teach Diego, but he's really only thinking about their survival. So at the dinner table, he gives him a present. He ends up giving him the shotgun, and he carved his name in it. Then he teaches Diego how to use it. I mean, the thing is, he doesn't want to give him a shotgun this early, but considering the way this world is, and they're probably going to run out of food after a while, he's trying to get him prepared for the inevitable. But Lucia's not ready for any of that, and she keeps saying Diego's not old enough to handle this responsibility. Then she ends up giving him a present. She ends up giving him a can with a string on it, and then she has a can, you know, that classic telephone shit. Then they play a game of I Spy. Later that night, what is with these ominous statues? Well, apparently Diego and Lucia used to carve out these figures. She tells him a little soft bedtime story. Then Salvador comes in and tells him a real story. He tells Diego he can't be afraid of the beast. I'm like, what beast? And he basically tells him he's got to prepare himself for the worst. See, Salvador's a realist. Then the story gets even deeper when he's about to say something about Lucia's sister. Then Lucia cuts him off after that. Next day, time for Diego to go hunting with Salvador. But while they're out, they end up spotting this boat just drifted. Who's in the boat? But when Salvador checks the boat, looks like somebody's in there done deal dead as shit. Apparently the guy had a knife in his hand, looked like he tried to kill himself, and he used all his bullets trying to shoot whatever he was shooting. Apparently the man was still alive somehow. They're about to take him in and make sure he's good. So Salvador got the guy back to the house so he could do some first aid. Meanwhile, Diego is doing Lucia's hair, braiding it up and whatnot. Then all of a sudden out the blue, the guy pops in right out of the door and he points out to the horizon. He's pointing to a spot, but we don't know where exactly. Then he picks up the shotgun that's sitting there, looking like he was about to aim it towards them. But as it turns out, Salvador was too late and he ended up shooting himself. What all the fuck? So whatever he saw out there, he said, fuck that shit, I might as well not even live. I'm just gonna kill myself. So as they're cleaning up the mess, Diego ends up looking at pictures of his family, which I'm pretty sure he was looking for but couldn't find. Because why else would he have been out in the middle of nowhere, right? I mean, it could have been a multitude of scenarios, but you get the point. Later on, Diego goes over to Salvador, and Salvador tells him the story about Lucia's sister. He says he's never seen the beast before, but apparently the beast, if you see it, you'll be doomed forever. He said Lucia's sister saw the beast one night, and before you knew it, she jumped out of her window and committed suicide. And he tells Diego, you cannot be afraid of the beast. That's why I need you to be prepared. So apparently when Lucia's sister jumped out the window, the beast somehow convinced her to do it. So now we're thinking to ourselves, who is this beast? So apparently the next day, Salvador was leaving. He says he's going to take this man back to his family, but I'm thinking to myself, like, where the fuck would he know where his family's at? So to Lucia, it sounded like some bullshit. He'd have been better off telling her he's trying to find some more food. I get this ominous feeling this is going to be the last time we see Salvador. He walks with him all the way up to the tethers, and he tells him to take care of his mom while he's gone. Do everything you can to protect her. Those don't sound like words of a man that's coming back. And just like that, he's gone. So Lucia's gonna make sure that everybody's gonna be alright. But then apparently Diego's gotta go to the bathroom. So you already know what time it is. Lucia, get the guns. But they get halfway there, they start hearing ominous sounds. It seemed like the door almost closed behind them. They said, fuck that shit, we about to piss in these pots and call it a day. They stayed right in that house, huh? But as the days are going by, she's getting a little bit paranoid about Salvador coming back. It's even harder to grow crops now, which I don't even think is possible at this point. Just look at that ground. How could they grow anything off of that? And throughout this time, the sheep then died out. And on top of that, a storm is on the horizon. Diego still has faith that Salvador will come back, but his mom is not as chipper no more. In fact, she's starting to lose it. He fixes her some type of breakfast to cheer her up. She's trying to be in good spirits, but you could tell that she's kind of getting broken. I don't think she believes Salvador's coming back. He tries to play games with her with the telephone thing. Then she tells Diego to get in the house and she got the shotty, but she only got with so much ammunition, but she's not going to shoot recklessly, right? Next thing you know, Diego's having this dream about this little girl, and I'm not sure who she's supposed to represent, but she asks him, has he seen the beast yet? Then all of a sudden she goes towards the window. Then all of a sudden we see him looking towards the window. He looks down. It's like, oh shit, this girl's dead as shit. Is she supposed to be representing Lucia's sister? Nighttime, they're looking for dinner, and Lucia's really in despair now. She hears noises at the window. She loads up the shotgun. She asks Diego if he sees the enemy, and he's like, I don't see nothing. She keeps saying it's hiding behind a scarecrow. But we ain't seeing nothing. She goes outside and starts chasing and starts letting off shots. I'm like, what the fuck? But we don't really see her chasing nothing. It's like, what the fuck? As Diego's calling for his mom. Then Lucia comes back at the house saying that she got rid of it. But I'm like, got rid of what? So whatever it is, you didn't kill it, and you wasted a bunch of bullets. What the fuck? Next day, they're both just frustrated by the storm. Then when they go to the door, one of the stilts is in front of their window. Throw one with bones and stuff dragging on it. Then they look outside and find out whatever crops they were planting in the ground was completely wasted. Everything destroyed. Literally, the only thing they have left is the rabbits. So it comes down to a point he's going to have to eat these motherfuckers to survive. And Lucia's finally teaching them survival techniques. Techniques that Salvador was trying to teach them to begin with, but you wasn't letting them happen. They get into a little argument after that. She starts spazzing out. Then it's on, she pulls a strap out and she's like, hey, stay still, don't move. Apparently she sees something behind her, but what does she see? So yeah, we're thinking to ourselves, what the fuck did she see? Then all the clothes start flying off the hanger. He's trying to get them off, but he can't. All of a sudden we hear a shot go off. She's like, go away, what do you want from us? He's able to lift up the sheet, sees Lucia shooting, but she ain't shooting at nothing. So at this point, Diego just thinks his mom's going fucking crazy. Then Diego starts saying something to her about the beast story that Salvador told him. Then he explains to her her sister died because she committed suicide because her parents used to beat the hell out of her like every day. She said it has nothing to do with a beast. So all the things she was really trying to keep from Diego, trying to keep him straight and narrow-headed, because of her paranoia, all that shit went out the window. Now she's on survival mode too, which is what Salvador was trying to teach him anyway, but you wouldn't let him. Later that night, he hears knocking at the door. Lucia's like, hey, go ahead, open the door so I can blame them when they come in. She ready for this shooting? But it turns out the only thing that was there was actually Salvador's horse. Now how do we know that? Because his stuff were lying there by the door. Now I know at this point she's thinking to herself, it's confirmed, he's probably done deal dead as shit. Diego runs out the house looking for him, but of course he's not answering. All of a sudden the door closes back at the house. What the heck is that ominous figure right there? Is that Slender Man? You can barely see in the shadow, but if you look to the light, you see the little head right there. Kind of. So Diego does the only thing he can do. He hides in the porta potty. He waits for this ominous creature to walk around. Then he ran back to the house and locked the doors. Lucia says she saw it and shot at it, but it didn't die. And on top of it, she only got 2 bullets left. So Diego goes through his father's bags and sees that he ain't got no bullets in there. So Lucia's inclined to believe it's the fact that he's not coming back. That's all the evidence she needs. So Diego does the only thing he can. He goes to the barn and gets the rabbits while Lucia holds out the beast. So with only 2 bullets left, Lucia is teaching him survival tactics of how to kill. She's telling him all the pressure points to stab with a knife. See, he would have learned this already if he let Salvador teach him. But it is what it is, push come to shove and whatnot. There's not really a whole lot of food left. The tomato sour as fuck. That shit don't look like mold, it looks like dirt. Some fungus or something. When it rains, it opened up a hole in the roof. They basically just drinking water from the rain. Yeah, they running out of time. And she keeps thinking she hears the beast. And she hears it at the rooftop, so here's her plan. She's gonna give Diego the shotgun, climb up the chimney so he can shoot the beast. Lucia can't go up there because the hole is too small. Hesitant at first, but Diego then decides to do it. But he doesn't even make it all the way up there. Mom ends up shooting and missing, and she only got 1 bullet left. And she's really starting to grow disdain for Diego. Then they take a bath. They see how long they can hold their breath underwater. Diego only goes down there for like 2 seconds. Lucia's down there for like 38, and after a while, Diego's like, hey, get up out there. Because for a second, he thought she had drowned. And we, the audience, thought at this point she was trying to kill herself. I guess Diego did too, so his plan is to try to sneak the gun away from her. He really just wants to take the bullet out. She's in this like catatonic state, yo, it's eerie. He does manage to get the gun away from her, but then he ended up getting caught. But he had the bullet in his pocket. She said, if you don't give me the gun, I'll kill myself. I'm like, god damn. So he gave her the gun, but when she realized there was no bullets in there, he locked himself in the room. But then he goes back out to check on her after a while, and she's like talking through the telephone. I'm like, who is she talking to? We're supposed to think she's talking to El Salvador, but I think she's actually talking to the beast. Or the beast inside of her head. Next thing you know, we see a carving of this figure. Diego's hearing noises from the other room. And Lucia was trying to fucking hang herself, yo. Luckily, Diego's able to cut her down. He's got her tied up in the bed. He's trying to make her eat, but she ain't trying to eat because he ended up killing the last rabbit that they had left. Next thing we know, they fell asleep for a little bit, and he heard the can roll into the room. Who the fuck threw the can in the room? He picked it up, and it felt like somebody was on the other end of this shit. So he puts it to his ear, and it says, I spy. I'm like, oh shit. He tossed that motherfucker and locked the doors. He tries to get his mom to a safe place because apparently the beast is in the house. The next thing you know, she ended up disappearing, and we see Lucia's hair on the ground. He goes to another room, and he ends up finding her rocking his crib. A crib with those wood carved figures in it. So Diego convinces his mom, like, look, we gotta get the fuck up out of here. But then when they're about to leave, Lucia says, it desires me. Then she pushes Diego outside and locks herself in. Diego finds a way back in, but when he does, Mom's lying on the floor like she's about to be done deal daddy shit. She tried to slice her own throat, which she's somehow still alive from. Barely. And then Diego ends up seeing the demon. And seriously, what the heck is that? It's like half a head, looking like some Slender Man shit. Man, it's crazy. So this thing is after Lucia, but Diego remembers not to have fear. So he stands up to the monster and it starts backing up. Then he gets the last bullet and bangs off at it. Then he gets his mom out the house and lights the whole shit on fire. Burnt down all that shit. So now they gotta find a path to somewhere, but unfortunately, Lucia's blood loss was too great and she ended up dying. And now Diego's on his own. And now he's gonna wander the wastelands alone to try to figure out what else is out there for him. Which doesn't look like much at all. But if you look into his eye, you can see the demons in him. Is it really him? Does he have the spirit in him all along? What does this mean? Now, I don't think we're even remotely gonna get a part 2, but you would just like to see where his journey's taking him, you know what I'm saying? The Wastelands on Netflix. Check it out. Like, cook, subscribe, do all that. You already know what time it is. Easy, all easy, best. Big, you got that slogan.